Welcome, friends and family, to the wedding of Josh and Jordan. I want to talk about each one of you and your qualities, and then talk to you a little bit about marriage. Now, folks, I am not qualified to be an officiant, but I've been married for 9 years, and we're still happy to be together, so we're above average. You asked me to tell a story about each one of you, and I thought about them. We got 100 stories, but I didn't want to tell a story about two of you separate, because I think that your last 3 years has been a story unto itself.
Josh, I have been thinking about the words that I would say to you on this day since before we even said our first I love yous. I knew very early on that someday you and I would be standing right here. When we met, I was immediately drawn to your sense of style, your humor, your adventurous nature, and your kind eyes. But today is about much more than the million things that I love about you. Today is about making a decision, arguably the most important decision of our lives. Marriage to me is not about finding your better half or the one that completes you or being lost and then suddenly found. Marriage to me is two whole people making a conscious and thoughtful choice to spend their lives in an unconditional partnership. When I think about sharing my life with you, I picture us dancing in the kitchen often and sleeping under desert stars. I picture family dinners and laughing until we cry. I picture all-consuming joy.
Jordan Baxter, Mi Chiquita, La Chaparrita. I am not a religious human, but if you are, you know the acronyms BC and AD. In my family, they refer to the timeline of my existence as BJ and AJ. And for those with their mind in the gutter, BJ stands for before Jordan, and AJ is, of course, after Jordan. I don't blame them, as it's easy to see why. Before you, I was a selfish man with a high temper that would more often than not flee from my problems instead of looking at them and facing them head on. It may sound cliche, but I do feel like a changed man after meeting you and starting a relationship. You showed me how to communicate, how to be patient, how to share, how to love, and most importantly, the fact that life will indeed have its problems and difficulties, but those aren't things you should run from. They are the trials and tribulations that you should face head on and learn from.
I know that our lives will bring us moments of hardship that we could never prepare for, but that to me is what marriage is. When I look at you, I see someone who I trust to hold my hand in the darkest moments. When considering my decision to marry you, I didn't ask myself who I want next to me for the best moments in my life. I asked myself who I want beside me during the worst ones. So today, Joshua Romero Perry, I am making the decision to marry you. And in true Jordan fashion, I have made a list of the things I promised you for the rest of our lives together. Unfortunately, this one isn't color-coded.
So here's what I promise to you and myself in order to keep our bond and relationship as strong and as beautiful as the best weld.
Now, with the power vested in me by Jordan, I pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
I promise to be caring, honest, respectful, and responsible to you. I promise to say I love you every day. I promise to try and take deep breaths and treat you with kindness when I'm stressed. I promise to call you out when you are being a turd. I promise to prioritize you before my work whenever possible, and also to continue to follow my goals and ambitions. I promise to ask for what I need and not expect you to read my mind. I promise that I will hurt you. It will happen, but I will listen to your perspective, try to respond thoughtfully, and apologize when I mess up. I promise to challenge and encourage you to grow. I promise to give you space to enjoy and pursue your passions without making you feel guilty for doing so. I promise I will stay, even when I don't want you. To love you, even when I hate you. I will breathe and talk and ask for help and push through the hard times, because this decision is not one I take lightly or one I am making blindly. I promise to dance with you, sing with you, laugh with you, and to make life decisions together with you. These are my promises to you, my love, but please know they are not 100% guarantees. I will mess up often, but I love you deeply and I will always try to be better. Our souls are intertwined. They couldn't help it.
I promise to communicate, even when it's hard. I promise to be by your side and help you through the good times and the pandemics. I promise to keep making up silly songs and overanalyzing Vita's facial expressions and turning them into semi-sophisticated dog thoughts. I promise to tuck you in with love for your 12 o'clock neenies. I promise, well, I can't really promise this, but I'll try my best to not tangle the sheets when we go to sleep. I promise to love you and hold you when you are sad, to understand you when you are angry, to empathize when things go wrong, and not to lift you up when you are down, but to come down with you and empower you to come up stronger and better than you were before. Something that you've done for me countless times. Because when it's all said and done, after Jordan is so much better than before Jordan.
It's amazing how much we're getting done in like a day or two.
It's been such a productive day. Absolutely.
Yeah.